about to ask you. There was something else. Yeah, I need to ask this really quick. What is something that he did really good, and what do you think was a negative also, so then people can learn that are watching? Was there like something that was exceptionally like well that he did?
Yeah, like I previously stated, the fact that he had an actual itinerary for a date, like women, like that is one of our biggest pet peeves because we are always like planning stuff out all the time. So like for a
This is
dude,
not my job.
yeah, this is, and you asked me out. It's usually a guy asking you out, and then they like, oh, I want to take you out to eat. Oh, okay, where are we going? I don't know what you like to eat. Like, anyways, very sexy, very big of you to have an itinerary that if people were going to one night stand, that is like a way to get a one night stand. I feel like
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
like two or three spots is like the go to every time. Yeah,
Yeah, like that lets me know like you thought this through. Even if you were like a major player, like
yeah,
girls don't care. Like
yeah.
at least he planned something.
No,
So
for real. Hey guys, here's my secret. There's a place called Better Than Sex up in Plano, and it is very legit. It's like a dessert spot, and it's the best spot where you take a girl after a dinner, especially if you're already up in that area.
Yep. Downtown Plano, 14th Street.
Yep,
better than
very
sex.
very 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 good spot, guys. Like I don't think you can lose if you take a girl there after dinner. Um, Let me think. I'm gonna just go through a few more questions. Maybe if somebody else calls in, we'll do it, guys. We got a little bit more time if anybody else wants to call in really quick. But I'll just do a few more questions to see if somebody else does. Um, hmm. Would you go down in lifestyle to have a family? So say like, go down to the guy who makes 40 or 50 thousand dollars a year. Y'all won't be able to go out all the time. Have like the fun lifestyle, but you're gonna get a family. You're gonna get kids. And all the stuff that you always wanted. Could you go down in lifestyle to have a family? You think?
I just had this conversation the other day. Well, kind of earlier when we were talking about like you can have like
Yeah,
um truthfully, and I'll be honest because people always lie, but probably like because the money, like when you like somebody, like really being at home, you don't. I mean, you want to be at home with that person. Like
yeah.
that's what you're doing. You're building a home. So like if
You just gotta accept all the FOMO that you would see on Instagram and shit. Like that's what it comes down to is kind of accepting seeing all these other people living
yeah
a better lifestyle than you, and then you gotta accept it. And be like, I settled for this and I'm happy still.
yeah, I
And
think
that's what's hard.
being happy, of course. But like if I just had to settle for that and like just in the name of having a family, like absolutely the fuck not. Like,
Yeah,
but if I was with a person and I like loved him and he loved me and we
like
like
he's perfect in all the other categories.
yeah,
Yeah,
then yeah, of course.
yeah,
What do we need to be outside for?
yeah.
Like we got a house to be in it together.
Yeah.
Like that's
The other question sometimes I like to ask is, what age would you settle for the average guy? So like some women would say that they'll wait until they're 45 to take that $50,000 a year guy, or that like that average guy. Like, is there a certain age where you're like gonna settle, like where you're like, okay, my sexual market value isn't where it was anymore. I'll take average now because I waited enough years
I don't think my sexual or physical market value will ever go down. So I'm gonna just say that right
because
now.
of the alpha widow thing, like what that kind of experiencing certain things, you can never go under certain things because of that.
No, no, I'm saying like as far as an age, like I don't think there's an age where I'm gonna be like, oh well, I'm getting older now, like I'm not as
Worst case scenario,
desirable.
you would just end up like a single cat lady or something. Like you're not gonna like it. Like you rather die than choose the shitty man.
Yeah, I just had this conversation earlier too about like women like just settling for a guy just to say they have a guy, and like, and I get it because like you don't want to die old and lonely, but like you don't want to die old and miserable just to say you have someone. Like
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
it's like what we were like, guys. We were talking earlier about something like y'all gotta understand how hard it is for women today because if they've experienced a certain thing or if they've seen certain types of men or just had those type of opportunities or experiences, like you can't tell them to settle and go down to a $50,000 a year or a normal guy, because when you do that, you're basically telling that woman to never have an orgasm again for the rest of her life. You're basically telling her like you're never going to be sexually satisfied, because that's a very emotional thing for them. Like sex is very emotional for them. So you can't tell like just like how we can't tell guys that have jerk off issues or whatever the fuck it is because they watched too much porn when they were young to be able to settle for like the girl that's a 5 or a 6. It's the same type of shit, man. Like there's a lot of women out here that are alpha widow, they've experienced certain type of things. They're not gonna fucking settle. And if they did, you're gonna be like you would be depressed because you settled, and the guy's gonna be depressed too because he's not gonna get sex and he's not gonna get everything else that he wants. So yeah, everybody needs to stop trying to tell women to settle because it really doesn't fucking do anything. Um,
Yeah, that's a terrible lifestyle too. Like, cause I think guys really get off to like your one, like your
yeah, your
woman
woman
needs
wanting
to
you
get. Yeah, like if you
1,000%.
don't want him, like I feel like that, like you just like waking up in the morning kissing the man, like oh,
The problem is there's
somebody wants me.
always a beta bucks out here. Like there's always a guy that's a beta that can't get girls, or he's just happy to have a companion, and there's millions of them. So like there's tons of girls that will be able to settle for those guys, and he's that type of guy that, oh, you can go on your girls trips, you can go do all this stuff, and like she doesn't care because once a year, twice a year, she's gonna go get her fun, like she's gonna go get her like little experience that like she needs to like make herself feel sexually satisfied, I guess you could say, and while at the same time having a guy fully paying for everything else, like, and there's a lot of guys like that will completely let a woman be free while fully taking care of her ass too. No.
I don't want that. You need to be able to no, not tell
Well,
me
yeah,
what
you
to
want the alpha so
do.
bad, you're almost willing to have the sister wife situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's how that's the two different types of women. There's either the women that are going to settle for the alpha, they don't want to be an alpha widow, so they'll take the alpha and share them, or they're going to be an alpha widow and never settle for like the normal guys. So I think it's a good choice to take the guy if he's going to give you the right kind of life. Um,
yeah.
just
Trash.
I'll go over a few more of these. Um, would you say that the bar is higher today to make a girl happy financially than it was in the past? Like 30, 40 years ago, do you think it was easier for like your dad or grandfather to like make a woman happy compared to like a guy trying to make a girl happy today?
Yes.
It was way easier back then. Yeah, you
Yeah.
only need flowers. It's fucking easy.
Yeah, because now we have social media
There's so
and
much
stuff
cool
like
shit.
that. Yeah.
Way too much cool shit.
And I think back then, guys actually had to like be creative to like be different from other people. Because like with the flowers, like I think that's kind of where the whole like rose petals on the bed type thing
Like, I don't think
came
nobody
from.
writes poetry anymore, but I can understand why they did back then because there wasn't much other shit to do other than like
Yeah.
the poetry and like flowers and shit. I think I already know what you're gonna answer this one. Would you rather have a shooter or a fighter? You want a guy who's a shooter or a guy who's a fighter?
I want both because I'm a shooter and I can fight. So I think he should be both.
He needs to be both. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think a guy should be able to
I
do both.
don't want him to just be a person that's like immediately gonna like shoot, but I also don't want him to be just like a super fighter all the time
Mm-hmm.
because you can get hurt like that.
Yeah. KBB, you mad, bro? To think all women have a high value men. Hey, bro, I just out of curiosity, do you have a high value woman? I'm just curious. Um, uh,
He's not a high value man.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
embarrassed.
I was just
But
that's why I was asking if he has high value women.